know you ain't talking about me, dog. You? What? You love my style, nigga. With your soul like ether, teach you the king, you know you. Godson across the belly, I prove you lost already. Brace yourself for the main event. Y'all impatiently waiting. It's like.
So that guy, Suburban Ninja.
Okay, before we get into the heart of the matter, let us just state that this seminar, which some internet fools are trying to...
this guy sounds like he pities the fool.
...mockery of, actually had people of credibility and credentials in various fields, you know.
Yes, there were people of credentials in various fields, but they weren't the ones who were performing the techniques.
What relevance does that have, whether they were performing the techniques or not? That has nothing to do with it, whether they were performing the techniques. Come on, that is such a stupid excuse, man. Come on, come up with something better than that, punk.
And they definitely weren't your buddy Ron Duncan.
At this seminar.
Oh, but Ron Duncan was there, chump. And as Dane DeRose has shown in the advertisement, that without Master Duncan's help, that event would not have taken place, which is a proof, another fact, that we know you weren't invited to speak, because surely Duncan wouldn't have invited your no credential having punk self to be there, idiot.
Okay, people such as Meek and Diane Scott.
Mike Scos. I before E equals E. E before I equals I. Mike Scos. If you don't know his name, you obviously don't know enough about his work to even talk about him.
That's a logical fallacy. Doesn't matter whether I know how to pronounce his name or not. The fact of the matter is that he's mentioned because he has some authority in the field of martial arts. So it doesn't matter whether I can pronounce his name or not. So you lose there. Try again, chump.
It's publishers of Koryu books.
Koryu. If you can't speak Japanese, you have no right to talk about the intricacies of what's real and what isn't real regarding ninjutsu.
Another logical fallacy. Not being able to pronounce a word from another language properly or correctly doesn't mean you can't speak, or doesn't mean you don't have knowledge of a certain subject matter. So you fail again there. Keep trying, chump.
Jeremy Sather from the Department of East Asian Language and Cultures from the University of Pennsylvania.
I don't think he's an expert on ninjutsu.
Exactly. You don't think because you don't know the man, so you have no position or authority to speak on whether he knows it or not, because you don't know the man and you don't know what he knows. So be quiet.
Mark Boglioli, professor of anthropology from Drew University, and Wyatt Evans, professor of history from Drew University.
Anthropology and history, really? That's a broad area. I don't think they specifically have knowledge of ninjutsu, so I don't understand why you're bringing these names up other than to try and look like it has some sort of credibility.
Once again, you don't know because you don't know them, so you have no position to say whether they know it or not. And the reason why I'm bringing them up, because they were members of the panel. That's why I'm bringing them up. Okay?
Reality. I got this email. Bring up mine so I can see. Well, I don't want to actually give out his email address, but invitation to represent Bujinkan method. This is from down here. Let's see, move down. Dane DeRose. He's the organizer of it, and he also talks about how.
Now everyone notices how he does a quick pass and scan, but you can't even read the letter. You can't even read the letter, but it doesn't matter because we have a connection to Dane DeRose. Master Kareem spoke to Dane DeRose directly and asked him outright if you were invited to speak, and Dane DeRose said no, you were not invited to speak in any official capacity. You were just invited as a participant to speak from the audience and challenge what Kawakami was saying, but you weren't invited to speak in any official capacity as a panelist. You're a nobody.
But as you can see, Dane invited me to come down, talk about the Bujinkan, and
as you can see, we can't tell what the letter says. The quality is poor. He has the camera so far back you can't even read it to verify anything that it says. Okay, and again, we already got information from Master Kareem, from Dane DeRose, that you were not invited to speak in any official capacity. Give it up. You're a nobody still.
Actually, I've pretty much proven that I do. As Dane said, I deal with primary and secondary source materials, which means...
No, you haven't proven anything. You're using Dane DeRosa's statement as a proof that you are somebody of credentials and authority? No. When we mean credentials, we mean you have a degree or a doctorate or something like that from a university or a school or something, not somebody's statement. I mean, wow, man, that is so weak and so sorry. That's your best example? The only thing you've ever shown is that you have a collection of books. Ninja anime comic books, a couple of books that anybody can get from the bookstore. That's what you've shown, and anybody can get those copies of those old books as well. I mean, that's not that doesn't mean you're an authority because you got some books. I got books on my bookshelf on various subjects. Does that mean I'm an authority now? How weak and sorry you are, man. Come on.
But I get all these invitations. I get written about in this book. I get written about get it out for me. It's the #3 magazine in Japan, and it talks about me being an expert on Japanese culture, martial arts, ninjutsu, things like that.
Did you see that, everybody? He holds up a book, Japanese writing, doesn't show us where his name is at, and hey, no wonder it's and if it really is true, no wonder it's the #3 magazine, because it's quoting idiots like you. So, I mean, but come on. He holds up a book with Japanese writing on it, doesn't show us where his name is referenced or anything like that. And hey, if it's true, like you said, it's the #3 magazine. No wonder it's the #3, because it's quoting pieces of garbage like you.
But I'm nobody. But your master wants to talk to me. Dane wants to talk to me. They want me to meet Kawakami. I'm in this book. But I'm nobody.
That's right, you are nobody. And don't get it twisted. The only reason why Master Duncan wanted to talk to you, because you had the audacity to make a public video slandering him and saying things about him. So he said, hey, well, let me challenge this chump, and invited you to speak to him in person, man to man, like I've been telling all you guys. If you really got problems, why don't you do it like a man does? Talk to the person face to face. That's how you really handle business.
And he did not show up.
I got invited to this seminar.
You were invited to speak to Master Duncan face to face, man to man, and you chumped out. Alright? And look, everyone, here's the letter that Scottbaioisdead sent back to Master Kareem, and look what he said. Look how nice his tone was. Look how now he changed. He has respect for Duncan. Look at him. Let's read it together, class, shall we? As you see, it's clearly from Scottbaioisdead. Wow, thank you. Despite whatever Mr. Duncan's claims may be, I have incredible respect for someone who would actually submit themselves to be questioned. This is the first time this has happened. The other people who I called out had my videos taken down. Out of respect for Mr. Duncan, I will remove that video and see if I can shift my schedule to make it to this seminar. Tell Mr. Duncan I said thank you. And now he's back on YouTube talking bad and talking trash about Mr. Duncan. You're a chump punk. And then to make matters worse, we all saw how he made a new excuse for why he didn't show up. He said he didn't show up because he didn't want the Bujinkan to be associated with the so-called frauds at this event. But how could that be the case when supposedly you were going to go there as a detractor, as somebody who was going to challenge them? So how could Bujinkan be associated with the people at the seminar when you were going as somebody who was going to be a challenger or a detractor? So come on, weak excuse, but you all saw it. He was willing and ready to go, and then he chumped out because he's not a man. He can't face the man face to face.